Good morning, Sam. How much sleep have you had, and how did last night go?
Well, I'm running on adrenaline after a action-packed debate. We were expecting some fireworks, and Donald Trump and Kamala Harris certainly delivered. The odds have swung in favour of the vice president now. In fact,
let's back up. Where did we find ourselves prior to the ABC debate? What was the situation then?
Yeah, so looking at what the odds have done over time, as we know, Joe Biden had that horrendous performance in the first debate. His odds completely drifted following that, and punters started to back Kamala Harris. She's then gone on, and the momentum has gone with her. She was the favourite about 2 weeks ago, and then following the Democratic National Convention, punters started to back Trump again. The odds flip-flopped. He was the favourite going into the debate overnight.
By how many?
Looking at the implied probability, he was around a 52% chance of winning. Harris was around 47%. That is now completely flipped. It's the way the exchange was moving last night. You can pinpoint it exactly to the moment when those odds moved. And
let's drill down to that, Sam, because you have literally spent all night watching this. Talk about specific moments, moving points where you actually saw some activity. What were they?
Yep. So in the past 24 hours, £2 million has been wagered on the Betfair exchange next US president market, and a lot of that has been for Kamala Harris, a lot of that coming before the hour mark, around 50 minutes in, when she goaded Trump around his crowds at his rallies. That really got under his skin, and from that moment on, you could see that Trump was...
Just to remind everybody, this is where Harris said that if you go to the rallies, people start leaving early. Trump responded, well, at least people come to my rallies, they don't even go to yours. Back to you, Sam.
Yeah, so from that moment on then, the momentum on the market was for Kamala Harris, and now her odds are into 20 to 21, whereas Donald Trump is now out to 11 to 10.
Over in the US, they have the snap polls, they have the overnight polls, they have continual polls. What impact does that have?
It's really interesting when we see these polls, and we've seen a number of different polls, haven't we, in the past few weeks, some putting Donald Trump ahead, some putting Kamala Harris ahead, and punters do take these into consideration without a doubt. But it's really interesting when you see these moments, when we see these debates, when we see these big news stories, how quick the market and the punters are to react. So far, more than £63 million has been wagered on who will be the winner come November. Looking back 4 years ago,
I was going to say, put some context on that, Sam. I mean, obviously, it's not the Grand National, but that sounds quite a heavy market. What was it 4 years ago?
4 years ago, it broke all records, and it is still the single biggest betting event of all time. £1.7 billion was wagered on the Betfair exchange on who would be the next president. And looking at the way things are going at the minute, like I said, £63 million has been wagered. To put that into some context, on the exchange market during the Euros, the outright winner of the Euros was around 30 million, so already double that amount.
All right, lastly, are there any more surprising or alternative markets that we can take a look at?
Certainly. So we have all 50 state markets available, so you can bet on all the swing states as well as those that are a little bit more
Pennsylvania's
safe.
And Michigans of this world. Yep.
Exactly. And we have seen movement on those already. Before the debate, the key states such as Pennsylvania, Nevada were looking favourable for Donald Trump. The punters were backing him in those states. However, that has now changed, and Pennsylvania on the Betfair Predicts College electoral state map is now blue along with Nevada. So we've got 55 days to go, Nick. I'm sure these markets are going to move more.
55 days ago. So let's just you go straight to bed and get yourself some sleep because you've been up all night.